Michael Thomas's name will forever echo in English football, not only because of one of the most dramatic goals in league history, but also because of the unique path his career took, a journey marked by resilience, versatility, and a quiet determination that sometimes went unrecognized in an era filled with loud personalities and flamboyant talents. Born in Lambeth, South London, in 1967, Thomas grew up in a working-class environment where football was not just a pastime but a way of life. Like many kids in London estates, the ball at his feet was his ticket out, and it didn't take long for his natural ability to shine through. He was spotted at a young age by Arsenal scouts, and from the moment he entered the club's youth system, it was clear he had the qualities of a special player: power, speed, and an adaptable footballing brain that allowed him to thrive in different roles. When George Graham became Arsenal manager in 1986, he ushered in an era of discipline and tactical rigor, and Michael Thomas was one of the young players who benefited from Graham's trust in youth. He made his league debut for the Gunners in 1986 and quickly established himself as a dependable and versatile figure. Unlike many players who nailed down a single position, Thomas was used in a variety of roles: full-back, midfielder, and sometimes even further forward. His stamina and pace made him invaluable, but what truly set him apart was his ability to read the game. He could break up opposition play, surge forward with energy, and contribute both defensively and offensively. This adaptability ensured that, even in a squad packed with talent, Thomas found his way into the starting 11. The 1988-89 season would become the most defining chapter of Thomas's career. Arsenal were battling Liverpool for the First Division title, and the season had come down to one decisive game at Anfield on May 26, 1989. Arsenal needed to win by 2 clear goals to snatch the championship from Liverpool's grasp. It was a near impossible task given Liverpool's fortress-like home record, yet Arsenal stunned the football world. Alan Smith opened the scoring in the second half, but as the clock ticked deep into injury time, Arsenal were still searching for that crucial second goal. Then came the moment that forever immortalized Michael Thomas. Bursting through the Liverpool defense, he latched onto a ball from Smith, and with calmness that belied the pressure of the occasion, lifted the ball past Bruce Grobbelaar. Arsenal had done the impossible. They were champions, and Thomas was the hero. His goal didn't just win a title, it became one of the most iconic moments in English football history, replayed endlessly in montages, and remembered by generations of fans. That single moment could have defined his entire career, but Thomas was much more than just that goal. He went on to represent Arsenal in domestic and European competitions, earning respect for his consistency and work rate. While some of his teammates, such as Tony Adams or David Rocastle, became more celebrated figures, Thomas was the glue that held midfield battles together. He was part of Arsenal's title-winning team again in 1990-91, a campaign in which the Gunners lost only 1 game all season, further underlining their dominance. His performances at club level soon earned him international recognition. Thomas was called up to the England squad in 1988 and made his debut in a friendly against Saudi Arabia. Though he never fully cemented himself as a regular starter for England, largely due to the immense competition for midfield places in that era, he did collect 2 caps. For many, his limited international appearances didn't reflect his ability, but rather the unfortunate timing of being around in an England squad stacked with midfield talent like Brian Robson, Paul Gascoigne and David Platt. Still, wearing the Three Lions shirt was a testament to the level Thomas had reached and the respect he commanded in the game. By the early 1990s, however, his time at Arsenal began to draw to a close. Injuries and changes in the squad meant his role was not as prominent as before. In 1991, he transferred to Liverpool in a move that was somewhat poetic. After all, it was Liverpool he had stunned in 1989. At Anfield, Thomas had the chance to revive his career, and though he never quite reached the same legendary status as he had at Arsenal, he became a reliable squad member. He played in the 1992 FA Cup final, helping Liverpool defeat Sunderland 2-0, and added another winner's medal to his collection. This success showed that Thomas still had plenty to offer at the highest level. What stood out about Thomas's career, particularly during his Liverpool years, was his ability to adapt to changing circumstances. He may not have been the headline act, but he remained a trusted professional, someone who managers could rely upon in crucial games. He wasn't flashy, but he was effective, a player who did the hard work that often went unnoticed by the crowd yet was deeply appreciated by teammates and coaches. By the mid-1990s, as age and injuries took their toll, Thomas's playing career began to wind down. He had spells with Middlesbrough and then Benfica in Portugal, before eventually finishing his career at Wimbledon. None of these later stints quite matched the highs of Anfield in 1989 or the FA Cup triumph with Liverpool, but they were important in shaping the full picture of his career, a player who never gave less than 100%, regardless of the shirt he wore. Looking back, Michael Thomas's story is one of seizing the moment. Football is filled with players who have long, consistent careers yet never etched themselves into the public consciousness. Thomas, by contrast, had a career of both consistency and one unforgettable, defining moment that placed him in the history books forever. His goal in 1989 is not just remembered by Arsenal fans, it is regarded as one of the greatest moments in English League football, encapsulating the drama, unpredictability, and sheer ecstasy that make the sport so compelling. Yet beyond that goal, Thomas represents a certain archetype of English footballer, versatile, hard-working, understated, but utterly dependable. He was not a showman like Gascoigne, nor a domineering captain like Adams, but he had his own kind of quiet authority. His teammates trusted him, his managers valued him, and his opponents respected him. Those who played alongside him often speak of his unselfishness and the way he put the team above his own glory. In retirement, Thomas did not seek the limelight in the way some of his contemporaries did. He stepped away from the game with dignity, content to let his football speak for itself. For many Arsenal fans, his name still sparks an instant memory of that magical night in May 1989. For Liverpool supporters, he is remembered as a solid servant who contributed to their early 1990s successes. In the broader context of English football history, Thomas is a reminder of how one moment can transcend an entire career. The sight of him surging through on goal at Anfield, keeping his composure under the most intense pressure imaginable, and delivering the finish that secured Arsenal's first league title in 18 years, is something that will never fade. It is a moment that still gives goosebumps to those who witnessed it live, and continues to inspire younger generations when they see the footage. His England career may have been brief, but in many ways that only adds to his mystique. He was there on the fringes of one of the most talented groups of midfielders the country has ever produced, and though his opportunities were limited, the fact that he reached that level at all speaks volumes about his quality. Michael Thomas's story is ultimately about timing, being in the right place at the right moment, and having the composure and talent to make it count. Not every player gets that chance, and fewer still take it. Thomas did, and that is why, decades later, his name is still spoken with reverence. His legacy is not measured by hundreds of England caps or an endless stream of trophies, but by the indelible mark of one goal that defined a season and an era. And in football, sometimes that is all it takes to become immortal.